Welcome to Straight Outta Jersey. Today's podcast is brought to you by Ace Sunglasses. Go to acesunglasses.com.au to purchase some of the best shades around. Use promo code
Straight Outta Jersey with Jersey Jay-Z. With the Freak of New York, Greg Valentino. And your host, Jersey Jay-Z.
What's up, guys? We are live. It is Thursday. I am Joe Zapata, and I'm with my brother from another mother, Mr. Greg Valentino, the Rambling Freak. What's up, Greg?
Giuseppe, what are you doing?
Nothing much, man. What's going on?
Just a fucking dog chasing his tail. You know what I mean? In my universe, 2 and 2 isn't 4. It's just some fucking, I'm in a matrix. You know, I hate when people say that. We live in a matrix. But sometimes I'm starting to believe it because I got algorithms on me that don't fucking add up. You know what I mean? I have a blood test. You know what I mean? You know when you prick your finger for the, you know, and you got to test your blood. You know what I mean? I get to fucking, you know, they each day I go to the doctor. He keeps prescribing the wrong machine, so I have to go back down to his office. They prescribe. It's actually her. Go to her office. She fucking prescribes me a machine. I got benefits that pay for that shit, but now they give me the one that doesn't pay for it. So I got three days in a row. I had to go to the same doctor. You fucking idiot! You keep putting the same thing in. You know, like I call the state, they tell me get this one, you know, freestyle, the freestyle, like the Freestyle Libre one, like that, right? And they're saying get that one, you know. So I tell them that's the one they cover. So what does my doctor do? Sends me some fucking precision, whatever. Same. I keep saying you're putting the same fucking goddamn prescription in. But anyway.
CH, what's up, Joe and Greg? It's 1 a.m. here in Denmark. Damn it. What's
hey,
up?
CH, what's going on, brother?
Oh, Mancini, what's going on?
Mancini.
Yep, he said, hi, guys. Hope all is well. Spring is finally here. Beautiful weather today.
Oh, yeah, man. I was outside. Yep.
My brother Dennis, Diz and Los, like and surprise.
Dennis.
John Mancini said, tonight's the lunar moon.
Is it really? Is that where we're all nuts?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Joe, did you see the thing I posted on Instagram of the one that you filmed with Lee doing a marching and shit?
Oh, yes, I saw that. And actually, why are we going to talk about that now? People asked me, you got 2 Instagrams. Now, what's the reason behind it, Greg?
Okay. Guys, the reason why I got 2 Instagrams is because I'm preparing myself in case Instagram puts the kibosh to me. I posted a picture of me holding up a bottle of a prescription of testosterone and a Viagra. Okay. I have a prescription for both. All right. Still identified. So I put that picture up and somebody put the kibosh and said, you know, I guess they complained, said I was promoting drug use and illegal drug use. And what they did was they restricted my account. So it's like somebody drilled a hole in a boat. All of a sudden, each day I'm losing 20 people. And now it's been about 2 weeks and it's over 250 people I lost. It's just like this. Wow. I can't tag myself in posts. I can't do it. I can't go live. Not that I go live. Okay. But they have restricted my account. I can post, but nobody sees it. It's like only my people that are my friends see, like, you know, the subscribers, whatever you call it, the you know, your supporters, they can see it, but nobody else can. So like, it's really bad. So I'm losing people like crazy. And, you know, they did this to me a few times. And I posted a video of a couple years ago. I was on Facebook, you know, I have 2 Facebook pages, the Greg Valentino, well, actually 3, this Greg Valentino Friends and Supporters. My girlfriend started some of that shit. And, you know, the Greg Valentino, but then I got a private one, Joe Beans, who's my friends. And on there, I said to my friend, Charlie Gasparino, who's Fox News. If you guys watch Fox News, I said, hey, Charlie, let's, you know, because we were going to go out to dinner like once a month. We go out, usually the first Friday. And I said, Charlie, let's hook up. And, you know, we'll get together. And they said I was sexually hitting on him. And they fucking got rid of my whole account. They banned my whole account. My whole account would have disappeared. Gone. Right? So now Gasparino, working for Fox News, goes on the Neil Cavuto show. And he said, Neil, did you see that shit they did today with me? And he said, yeah, what was that? And he explained on Fox News how his childhood friend, me, was said to him, let's hook up, let's get together like that, and we'll go out. And he said, you know, they thought I was sexually hitting on him, so they put the kibosh on me. Son of a bitch! As soon as he went on Fox and he complained about it, Meta took it off, and I got my whole account right back. But Meta is Instagram, so they do it like, you know, they're so shot, Joe. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm. I know,
You
that's
know,
crazy. That's
I got in
ridiculous.
trouble like a couple months ago because I was saying something about somebody. I forgot what I said. Something about I don't like girls with fat asses, right? And I wrote instead of the word fat, like on on your freaking keyboard here, the T is right above the G, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
guess my finger hit the G, and I don't proofread, as you know. Sometimes you read my text messages, like, who wrote this? A third grader? You know what I mean? So I don't check it. I'm too lazy to check it. Type it on. And son of a bitch, I hit the G instead of a T. So it said, I don't like fag asses. You know what I mean? And they thought I was saying shit about gays, and they put a strike on me for that, and I got in trouble for that. So it's like somebody drilled a hole in a boat, and so that's why I have the second second count is in case they got rid of this account, then I at least have something to start off with.
Back up. All right, well, that's a good idea. Brian Pablo,
Brian
says, I'm back. Girl loves Australia and life happening soon. Natalia, how you doing, Natalia?
Hey, Natalia.
Ruben Sanchez, what's up, Jay-Z and Greg?
Ruben.
What's going on, Ruben? Well, Ruben. Let's see.
We haven't seen Ruben in a couple of weeks, I think, right?
No, we haven't seen him. Anyway, guys, I wanted to make sure this weekend on Saturday, the 15th of March, I will be in New York for a big wrestling event in Credit Union Arena. I'll be with Bret the Hitman Hart. I'll be with a bunch of Ric Flair is going to be there. Tickets are $25. You come in the door. I'll be there working. You can see me. You can meet the wrestlers. So, anyone wants to come by and see me, say hello. I'm there. There's going to be a ton of wrestlers. Over 40 wrestlers are going to be there. Eric Bischoff will be there. Jim Ross will be there. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be there. So, come by and say hello. Just letting everyone know.
Is Jim Ross still involved in that stuff? Isn't he like
he's old? Yeah,
he's like really old and shit, or no?
Yeah. He's going to be
That's
there.
Funny.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be there. The Steiner brothers are going to be there. Just everyone's going to be there. You name it, they're going to be there. Dudley Boys, everyone. How's everyone? John Saldi, what's up, John?
John, how you doing? John Saldi, what's going on, my brother?
Well.
You tell Steiner, these are the biggest arms. Because I remember when I was all jacked and juiced out of my mind, people used to be like, your arms are bigger than Scott Steiner. I thought he had the biggest arms. I'm like, oh, please. Remember even Hogan used to be like, these are the biggest arms in the WWF. His arms weren't that big. I've seen him in person many a time.
Yeah, Scott Steiner actually told me a story about him and Hulk Hogan. They don't like each other in real life.
Oh, really?
They hate each other. So what happened was Scott Steiner was at the airport and he saw Hulk Hogan's wife, his second wife or whatever, and she was like a young. So there was a problem backstage because there was a lot of politics. Hulk Hogan had a lot of pull. It made him lose a match or whatever. He went up to Hulk Hogan's wife and said, hey, you know what? Your husband's an asshole. She called up Hulk Hogan and told him that he hit her.
Ooh.
So they went to the cops, and the cops were about to arrest him, but he said, hey, it was in the airport. There's cameras there. Go to the airport, watch the cameras. If I hit her, come and get me and arrest me. So that cost a huge
shit. What a troublemaking bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a big mess. John Scuderi, I saw John Scuderi's on there. What's up, guys? What's going on?
Wow,
that's
Dan,
what's going on, man?
Shit.
Dan, so John, what's going on, my friend? Who else is going there?
We're going.
Brandon Jimenez said Greg Valentino versus Mother-in-law in a wrestling match. I want to see that.
She wins.
By submission, huh?
She's quite a guy.
Yeah. Her versus Andre. Who's winning?
Well, she looks just like Andre, but he did have to cut him into quarters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's disgusting.
Yeah. Dan Selena says Tony Atlas was Jack. Yes, Tony Atlas will be there too on Saturday. So I'm going to see Tony.
My friend beat him in a. I told you my friend beat him in a bench contest.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie.
And Tony Atlas is funny because like people come up to him, like he'll be walking to go to the bathroom, and someone will be like, hey, can I get a picture? Or he'll try to go to you and be like, hey, come here and take a quick picture, and then he'll be like $25.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And the camera towards him, he's like, oh, come on, take a picture. And then you think it's like, oh, because you see him in
people tell me he's not too bright though, Joe. Is he
not.
Really dumb?
I've talked to him about getting him to do the StreamYard with me for an interview, but he told me, he's like, can you come to my house? Because he's like, I don't know how to do the computer. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so people would tell me he's not really swift. Like he's like,
Yeah, I was like, all right, Tony. I said, well, maybe, but I'm not going to drive all the way to Maine. He lives in Maine. I'm like, I'm driving to Maine.
Maine.
He's like, oh, you can hang out at my house and we can show you my trophies and this and that. I'm like,
fuck that.
I don't know about that, Tony.
Oh my God.
What did he said? Let's see, but Greg's doesn't have a mother-in-law. don't know what that was.
Well, I do, but she's not technically I'm not married to my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? But we've been together over 18 years. We're we're in our 19th year together. We're 1 year from 20, me and her.
John Mancini said Rosie O'Donnell moved to Ireland. You heard that?
Yeah. Thank God. Dude, she's disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. And
disgusting. I don't know, man.
Trump said good riddance. That was his. He said goodbye. Good riddance.
Yeah, he fucking loves Rosie. Fuck that bitch. Oof.
Yep. Luciano said Jimmy Snuka was jacked. Yes, he was jacked.
He also kept a fucking mummy in his closet. Didn't he kill her? Did they find her body in a closet or some shit? Like, was she like in a box somewhere? Wasn't she just going missing and they never knew what happened to her?
No, they found her, but the story changed like 4 times.
Yeah, I knew that he killed her. He died right after that because they were gonna
beat her up.
Yeah.
He beat her up in the hotel room, and everyone that was there was like, "What the hell's going on?" And he said, "Oh, I left to go wrestle and came back, and she was like this." And back then, Vince McMahon had the money to pay off people.
I thought that they found her body or something mummified. I thought she went missing, and he said, "I don't know whatever." She left. We had an argument. She left, and then they found her body. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever.
Yeah. I talked to the person who was on the ambulance team when they went to the house. Oh,
really? Where was that? It was at the house.
It was at the hotel in it was a hotel in PA. Went to the hotel, the ambulance person, and told me that when they got there and opened, they said something's going on here. That was the first thing they said. They said this is abuse. They said that to the cops, and the cops were like, "Well, we have to investigate." He goes, "Something's wrong here," because he said, "What happened?" She's like, "Oh, she fell off the bed." He's like, "You don't fall off the bed and get bruises all over your face like that."
Yeah, knuckle marks on your face.
Yeah, exactly. That's her name was Nancy Argentino. That's correct. On bed choking.
Holy shit! Luciano, you watch your wrestling, I guess. Wow.
That's right.
What about Arturo Gatti? That was fucking Gatti. That was killed by that Brazilian woman. Whatever the hell that pulled. That was some bullshit there.
I mean, that's crazy. I don't know what happened there, but
they said he hung himself, but that was bullshit.
Yeah. What did Luciano say? John Mancini said British Bulldog's daughter does podcasts. Yes, I actually was interviewed a British Bulldog's daughter. That's coming up too. There's Georgiana Smith, who's Davey Boy Smith's daughter, and I just did the Dynamite Kid's daughter, Browning, so she was really cool.
The Dynamite Kid. See, I don't know any of these people. I mean, I know Snuka is. I'm not really good with wrestling. I never. The Dynamite Kid. That's a guy. That's like a wrestler.
Yes, the Dynamite Kid. Yes, is a wrestler. Snuka was a drinker and liked the nose candy. That is true. He did like the nose candy. But back then that was popular in the 80s, right? Everyone was doing it. What did bodybuilders doing that? I mean, Arnold was probably doing it back then.
Arnold talks a good game, but like Leon Brown used to tell me, he would drink one beer and be the first one at the party and be the first one to leave. He would never, he'd stay up though till midnight, but he wouldn't go. He's like me. He doesn't sleep a lot. He'd go to bed at midnight, but he'd be up at 4 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was like, but he didn't really get, he talks all that, smoke the weed and all that shit. He wasn't really that, he was not really that like that, according to Leon Brown, who was with him all the time. Greg,
John Mancini Fitness said, Greg, would you take a polygraph to prove you took Synthol? That's not really John Mancini, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
That's another. Looks like another person who's pretending.
Dude, you have no life. I take a polygraph. I don't need a polygraph to know that you're a fucking coward.
It looks like
and it's great. How do you look in the mirror, bro?
That can't be the real John Mancini. I didn't think so. See, John, that's not me.
See, John, now I guess like you're
John.
Now they're imitating you, John. Welcome to the club. You've made it.
Yeah, exactly. You made it.
Can you imagine what a pussy, like a little coward, you got to be to fucking? I'm gonna make believe I'm somebody. You know what I mean? Like, where you got to be? Like, how fucked up you got to be, dude. Get a girlfriend or boyfriend. Maybe that's what you like.
Yeah,
get a girlfriend or boyfriend if that's possible.
If it's possible. Guru Dave Smith. What I miss, queers.
Dave, what are you doing? That might be the real Dave. And Dave, I know Dave, personally, but I'm saying like that could be him.
What's up, guys? What's up, Rick? Hope everything's going well with the lawsuit and everything. He's got a lawsuit going on.
Oh yeah. I remember we interviewed him. Yes. Is that John Scuderi? Yeah.
Tony Atlas about when he was at the orphanage and took his first bath at age 13, and the woman at the orphanage yelled out, "Oh Lordy, we have a light skinned."
Is that real?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
He was in an orphanage and shit. Was he really? He grew up in an orphanage.
Yeah, I think he did grow up in something like that. I don't know, but he.
Do they even have orphanages anymore?
No, they don't. They do not.
Because I think you just do foster kids now, right? You throw the kid in foster or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the real Dave, unfortunately.
No, I know Dave. I know.
We got Loho said, "What's up, guys? Watching from the toilet." Oh, so was Greg. See,
hello.
Watching from the toilet.
I remember him.
You still think Sam is the next Mr. Olympia?
Who?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Sam Salik. He's like, all these trolls will be like, "Oh, you know," then when you say something about Sam on you know, they go, and I saw as a joke, I said, "Oh yeah, he's the next Mr. Olympia," you know. But what are you gonna do? That's what these people think.
They're ridiculous. That ain't happening. But whatever.
Yeah. Rick Raffbuffer says, "Your show and Larry Pollock are my favorite on YouTube. Larry is intense." Yes, Larry is pretty intense.
Larry don't take no shit though. You start fucking around with him, you get the kibosh. He'll find out your little IP address, whoever the little trolley boy is, and he'll be at your house before you know it. There'll be a knock on your door. He'll find out. Larry will find out. Mm-hmm. You know, he don't tolerate bullshit. Larry's a no bullshit guy. Mm-hmm. I love Larry. I love that about him. I love that. Like, I respect him for that. He don't take no shit.
Nope. Tyler Durton says, "Team Valentino checking in. What's up, Tyler?"
What's up, Tyler? How you doing, brother?
All is well, man. Hey, you see Victor Martinez lately? He looked great. He looks
Victor never looks bad. I mean, Victor has a small waist and nice V taper. You know what I'm saying? He's got a great body. I actually think, you know, he had a better body than Flex. I mean, Flex was great too, but I'm just saying, like, you know, everybody was talking about Flex with those lines. Victor had some fucking lines on him, boy. Oof. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it always looks good. Yo, I go out with Victor, and that guy looks good in clothes. He doesn't dress like all these other bodybuilders where they try to look like refrigerators, wear the baggy shit and the fucking big baggy pants, and look like, you know, like so that they like look like a refrigerator walking. He doesn't look. That fucking guy dresses nice clothes, but he looks good. You know what I mean? He looks good in clothes. He does.
Yeah, he does.
He's the man.
Yep. And John Scansari said, "True story, no bullshit." Well, I'll ask Tony when I see him on Saturday. I'll see Tony on Saturday. I'll ask him. Natalia said, "After hours is boring lately." Well, Loho said, "Greg, you're going to buy a Tesla now after Trump? Time for a new car."
Do you know much, Scott? You got to have to buy a Tesla. My friend has a Tesla, and he got a flat tire, and they have to come and tow your car. Mm-hmm. Right? You can't just fix a tire. I don't know why. He didn't explain why. But they actually tow your car and bring you a loaner until they can fix your tire. You can't even fix a tire on it. You gotta have throwaway money to have that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Even if I was a billionaire, I don't deserve a good car because I fucking hit everything. Like, you know, I'm not talking about like I hit other cars, but I mean, I like back up into fire hydrants, or I go over a curb and shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm like back like that, bro. You know, if there's like branches hanging off of, like a little bit by the road, my car, I hear them scratch off the car. I don't deserve a good car, bro. I really don't. You know, my daughter's got a new car. You know, she pays like $500 some a month, and I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? I couldn't even like take it for a spin down the road. Like I don't trust me. You know what I mean? I'm just bad like that. Mm-hmm. I don't deserve a good car.
Grodev said, "So Greg, what you're telling me is you know what he looks like with no clothes on."
Who?
Talking about Victor when you're saying
No, I never seen him naked, but I'm just saying he has a great body. I don't think is that John Mancini still, or no? Is that the fake John Mancini? Get rid of the fake one.
I got rid of the fake one. It's out.
Okay.
The fake one is out. Tyler Durton says, "Love Greg's breakdown of the Arnold Classic."
Oh, you mean on After Hours? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just think that, like, you know, I was just talking to Chris Cormier, actually, and he was talking about that, you know, to me, like, you know, how the bodies today, you know, it's just not, there's a great video, Joe, by Lee Labrada, okay? And I know Lee for a long time. He was here, 1988, before his son was born, and, you know, his wife was
good. Hunter's nice.
Right, just when his wife was then his girlfriend, okay, Robin. You know, I was with him when Robin was, and he put this video out. It's great. I'll send it to you, Joe. It's where he says, "What would you rather be? You want to be a Lamborghini, or I'd rather be a Lamborghini than what I forgot what the other part." But what he was trying to say is, in bodybuilding, I want to go up there and I want to look good, where it's appealing to everybody. Now, of course, everybody likes to be big. Okay, we don't. It's I myself used to look really good, and then I look like a bag of shit when I took all the steroids. And I did love taking the steroids. I'm not going to put the steroids down. Okay. I love it. Okay. But I know that I look retarded. You know what I mean? I was fucking 278 pounds. You know what I mean? I was ridiculous. But I understand what he means by the Lamborghini. I oiled him up backstage, and he weighed maybe 189, 191, something. I can't remember what it was. But his fucking body was amazing. And when you see that body like that, and those are the bodies that, like Cormier was just saying, like those are the bodies that are beautiful bodies. Look at, you guys see Rory Liedemeier that I talk about sometimes. I show his body in person. When you see that fucking guy back in the day in Gold's Gym, his shoulders, his arms were huge, but he had this small, sleek waist, really small, like this, came down. And no matter where he turned like this, he looked good, like from every angle. You know what I mean? Today, you got all these guys like that, And let me tell you something. I don't give a shit what you say. Mr. Olympia, I was looking at his thighs. They're like this big and everything. If it's not natural to you, if you're not, like, if you were once a skinny guy and now you're jacked, super jacked, your athleticism's gone. You can't run. If there was ever a fucking lion chasing you or something, you'd be, bye. Well, first of all, we'd all be fucked if a lion was chasing us. But you know what I'm talking about, Yeah,
that's crazy.
I've just seen that you can't be that big and be even athletic. These guys on stage, you're so big today. They do a double bicep, and then after, okay, put it down like this. Like if you're out of breath doing the most muscular double bicep, you didn't see that back in Arnold's days. You didn't see that. Lee Labrada didn't get out of breath. Sean Ray, those guys. Lee Priest. You guys don't really see, he had a small waist. Lee was like 198. He looked fucking phenomenal. He would have easily won the 202 class. Easily would have won the Mr. Olympia. And that's because these guys had, they were athletic still too. These guys today ain't athletic. They fucking fall over. You know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. Ron Simmons says, damn.
Damn, that guy.
Yeah. Gerardo Garcia says, how do you get them young, Greg?
Oh, dude, I'm an ugly motherfucker, but I wasn't always ugly. So if you go to my Instagram, and you'll see pictures of me when I was young. I wasn't always ugly. But the girls like the gift of gab. You can see a fat bastard, right? I have a friend. He's a fat bastard, but he gets hot fucking girls. You know why? Because he's one of these guys that like, hey, you fucking steal. You like, if you like, one time I was talking, my foot rubbed up against his foot, and you're like, oh, you scuffing my sneakers. You know what I mean? My kicks. He goes home. He fucking wipes them off, puts them in a box, and puts them up in a closet. You know what I mean? He's like that, right? He's with his sneakers. I tell him, you take care of that shit, but your fucking gut, you're 500 fucking pounds. You know what I'm saying?
He's getting women though, because he's got to get
girls. You know why? But you'll never see a jacked, like ripped, shredded bodybuilder, good-looking guy. You know what I'm saying? With a friggin' look like Mike O'Hearn or something like that, with a fat fucking slobby girl, right? You'll never see that.
Nope.
But you will see a fucking hot bitch with the fat fuck. You know why? Not just a scuttle, but fat Italian guys from Brooklyn. My friends from Brooklyn. They got the gift of gab. He got the hair. Don't touch the fucking hair. You know what I mean? He's got the hair done. He wears the coordinated clothes, the Jets jersey with the fucking green Adidas pants and shit. The sneakers just right, And he's like that, Got the rings on the fingers and the big fat hands is like this. He's got the fucking rings on it. You probably got to cut them off. I love the guy, but he got one time he hurt his back. He hurt his back at his house, and he fell to the ground. He couldn't get up. They had to call the fire department to get him up. I'm not fucking kidding you, dude. That's when you know you're a fat bastard. Yeah, I love him dearly. I love him. He's one of my best friends on the planet. And he knows he's a fat bastard, but that's just the way it is. He gets girls left and right. It's the gift of gab. You know how many guys I know that bodybuilders, I can't get a girlfriend. I don't understand why. Maybe because you talk about bodybuilding all day. Now, all you give a shit about is, oh my God, you see the pecs on him. You know what I mean? Like, or how does my arms look? Like that kind of shit. No girl wants to be around that.
No. Loho said that Tesla truck looks hideous, though.
I agree.
William Allen said,
I seen
I
that
had to
shit.
stop. Yeah,
I'm
that
sorry.
look good. I was in it driving. It's not that good. William Allen said, I had to stop watching After Hours the last time because they were yelling over bodybuilding. Yep, I know.
What do you mean? You're talking about when John and Dave were arguing because they were arguing over the price of physique. Look, when you go to an Arnold Classic, you're going to the bodybuilders. You know what I mean? Unless you're just there for the chicks in the expo. But then you got to have real problems for that because if you got to fly out to Ohio just to see a bunch of hot girls, fuck that.
Josh Rivera, my favorite day of the week. What's up, brothers? Hey, what's up, Josh?
What's up, Josh? How you doing?
Josh, I got to DM you later about some stuff, so we got to talk later. Tyler Durton, so Greg's story of seeing physique competitors running to pros for pics backstage. I know he was kidding. Laughed so hard I dropped the drywall pank.
No, I'm not kidding. There's some of the guys in the board shorts, like they look at it, like, holy shit, there's Derek Lunsford. He's Derek, do you mind if I get, can I get a shot with you? You know what I mean? I swear to God, I've seen that shit backstage. Don't listen to those guys. I love Dave, but he's a fan of the sport. I'm not really a fan of sport anymore. And I talk to a lot of famous bodybuilders who you guys fucking like this to those guys, and a lot of that from the 90s, and they even say the same shit. I can't even watch it anymore. Telling you.
Yep.
Joe, I tell you.
I know who you're talking about.
Brian
says, hey, Greg and Jay-Z, if you guys started live an hour in advance, I would be able to on my break to watch. I'm sorry, we would try, but it's just me and Greg's.
I forget that. You know what, Brian? I forget that you're over there. You know what I mean, in Australia, because the time difference is. It's like 3 a.m. over there, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, different. So, I think it's whatever, 1 or 2. Dan Salinas said growth hormone is to blame. I guess it is. Yes.
No, it's more than growth hormone. Rich Piana hit the nail on the head. He used to say he puts on like 30 pounds in a week just to go to because he would, they do all the insulin. They do so much insulin. That's why they take boatloads of, when you see these guys making these shakes and they're fucking throwing like cocoa pebbles in there and fucking, peanut butter and fucking applesauce and all this other bullshit, carbohydrate powder. Rich Piana used to say, I don't believe in protein shakes, but he would make those carb shakes, and not for nothing, you put the fucking insulin in there to get it like a balloon, but you lose it fast too. It's ridiculous. Look, I could take a hammer and hit my bicep like this really hard with it, and it'll fucking blow up 2 inches. Look at that shit. You know what I mean?
Hematoma.
Yeah, hematoma. That's a hematoma. Oh no, Go ahead.
Mark Burton tuning in from Vegas. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Mark, what's going on, man?
It's hot over there in Vegas normally.
Don't tell anybody, Mark. Remember, you're in Vegas.
Rick Simon says Tiger Woods been giving the wood to Vanessa Trump, Donald Jr.'s wife, apparently.
Vanessa Trump, Donald Jr.'s wife. I don't know. Who knows? Listen, Tiger Woo. You ever see that movie with that guy, Tiger Woo? First of all, let me tell you something. I don't think Don Trump Jr. gives a shit, okay? Because he's with another chick right now. And not for nothing, but the granddaughter there.
Loho said, Dave Smith said he's 180 pounds and he can't run. Loho said, Greg, was Paris his waist not smaller than Liedermeyer?
No, you know what's funny? It's funny you asked me that, Loho, because I'm going to tell you something. If you watch the video, it came down to Bob Paris winning or Liedermeyer. I think it was the Nationals, whatever it was. It was very close. A lot of people had Liedermeyer. Liedermeyer was like a slightly bigger version of Bob. I don't know. I don't know why. I would have took Liedermeyer in that one. And I love Bob Paris's lines. Dude, Bob Paris fucking was kicking it to me one time in fucking World's Gym. And his boyfriend came over there and got a little fucking stewed. And I was with my ex-wife. So I'm like, dude, what are you getting stewed for? He was just, we were in deep conversation, but it wasn't like he was like, let me suck your dick or something. I wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? But the boyfriend was like, Robert, he was like getting all pissed.
Tyler Durton said, Joe, thoughts on Dana White teaming up with Turk to form a boxing organization? Well, I actually think it's pretty good. And actually, it's really good opportunity for, let's just say, me and my brothers possibly, because my brother George does the world of boxing, and we know a lot of people. He knows Dana. Now that he's in boxing, we know Dana, but not like we know Kevin Iole, and Kevin Iole is very close to Dana. That's head writer. And there's some things in the background that might be happening, and it'd be only good for the Zapata brand. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Georgie's Bagels. Let's make them go everywhere. Let's make it national.
Loho, Greg said, Loho, Greg, did you ever see Munster in real life?
Oh yeah, I got pictures of me and Munzer. Yeah, he was I couldn't really talk with him. He was chairman, you know what I mean? Andres, I got a few pictures with him. I think there might be one on my Instagram. I'm not sure. I could put it out there if you want.
CH Joe, I think you should host after hours instead of Dave. That guy's starting to get on my nerves.
Dude, listen.
I just like to let the guests talk. I just like to let the guests and people talk. I don't like to interrupt and talk too much. I let them talk.
Joe, we all love Dave. There's no problems here with that. So we don't want to know. We're not trying to start it. Like, don't do that. Like I love Dave and Joe loves Dave, and we're all together. What Dave has his own, he runs the show his way, and that's fine. I'm part of that. You know what I mean? It's just, we like to have fun here with you guys too. So that's the whole thing.
I do my way, he does his way, right?
We like interacting with you guys. See, when we can answer your questions, we can play around with you guys.
Yeah.
It's fun like that. You know what I'm saying?
But at the end of the day, I want to know about all the people and the people that jump in the chat, talk to them, see what questions they have. And we're friends with all of them. Like I said.
Yeah, we got no things there. Look, I'm on After Hours. John's Dave's boy, and John was freaking out the last show. John was very upset. You know what I'm saying? They were going at it left and right. So it's just good banter. We're all friends. It's just good banter. It's good banter. It's a little back.
Rick Simon said, Brian, our clocks in the USA went an hour forward last Sunday. Yes, they did.
Yes, Rick. Yes, we love that, by the way. Trump originally was going to keep it that way, but I don't know. There's too much opposition for that. Yeah, I like it light. I like it light. And I don't like it fucking dark out at 4:30, in November and December. Oh, I don't.
CH says, hey, Greg, Joe, if you take the first letter in each word of didn't earn it, what acronym does it make? DEI. I don't know. I don't know.
There you
go. Josh Rivera said, I was chatting with Jimmy the Bull yesterday. We need to get him on away from that damn truck. Yes, Jimmy's works a lot.
Jimmy's our boy. Jimmy's our friend. We're personal friends with Jimmy, so yeah, I know everything that goes on. He's a hard worker. Let's put it that way. He works hard.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, Greg, you sound like a bitter hater. I don't know if that's
on which one. How am I a bitter hater?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
You got to be more specific.
Yeah, weird hours here down under.
Are you is that the coward that fucking keeps switching and now he's Miss Bell? Is that what it is?
I don't know, probably.
Is that why he's a bitter hater? Because
Greg, did you watch the video I sent you, Bob Chick versus Nick Walker?
Yeah, wait, was that you that sent me that, John? I did see that thing with Bob Chick and Nick Walker. Listen, just stop, these guys are too touchy today. If somebody thinks that you shouldn't win, or I like Joe Matarazzo better than or whatever. I think Joe Matarazzo is going to win. I think, I have this guy in 5th place or 6th place. I know in this case he said 8th. But what I'm saying is, so what? What do you care? Prove him wrong. First of all, listen, let me tell you something about Bob Chickarello. I know Bob Chick, okay? He has his ways, but he's not a bad guy. I like Bob, and he's been in the sport a long time, and he paved the way for these guys today. Remember, he was in the Nationals. He was in the teenage Nationals, I think, in 1980. You know what I mean? And he had a goddamn good build. He had some legs on him. He had a nice broad back. So I give Bob Chickarello credit. I don't like when guys rip apart the old guys. Old school guys. I'm older than Bob, so because we've been around, bro. I competed in the 70s. You know what I mean? These guys today, those are the guys that paved the way for you. You can't be so touchy. Dude, if I was fucking touchy like that, you know how many people fucking, dude, the most hated man. Do you think, I don't give a shit, I don't like when people talk for you and make believe that you talking. That's not good because that could cause problems,
It's hard because you're being judged on an appearance by someone else's opinion.
It's an opinion. It's an opinion. And you know what? It's everybody has a right to that. You know what I'm saying? There's 1,000 people think Joe Matarazzo is going to win that show. It doesn't matter.
It's an opinion. I might think your mother-in-law is good looking. It's an opinion, right?
Yeah, it's nothing against. It's not. What's his name? Nick Walker, right? It's nothing against Nick Walker. It's nothing against him. I don't. I'm sure he's a nice guy, and he's one big motherfucker. I'll give him that.
He's big. He's huge.
But you know what? You're going against a whole bunch of other big motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And Who's going to win? Some big rip motherfucker. So maybe you're it, maybe you're not, you know. But you can't get mad at the guy, you know. He's making T-shirts and stuff, you know, like Lee Priest said. He thinks it's funny, but I don't know if that's. I think it's a little much, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Bob Ciccarello.
Yeah, it's a matter of opinion, like you said. I mean, like I said, if I thought your mother-in-law was good looking, that'd be my opinion, right?
Joe, I'd puke on you. I'd stop being your friend. No, Morello would kick your ass. Then I know you like guys. I'm just kidding. Oh, you know who I would hook my mother-in-law up with? Honestly, Dave Smith, Guru Dave Smith. I think they'd be a good match.
Really, Guru Dave Smith. Guru Dave Smith, isn't it?
Or Dave. No, it's just kidding, Dave. You know, I love you, bro.
We want to torture you. Dan said, John, I'm getting tired of hearing about the Wes Watson. That dude is a tool. Yeah, that guy is something else. That guy.
Yeah, I mean, when you sit there and go, God damn, I'm so fucking good looking. You got to be, you know, there's no way you believe that shit. I can't believe that. You know what I mean? And when a guy talks like he's a tough guy like that, dude, real tough guys do not talk like that. Okay. I'm just telling you, a real tough guy will sit there and just look at you. Next thing you know, boom, you're on the ground and you're minus a few teeth.
Yeah. One of my friends who has money was like, I'm going to just do this Wes Watson thing just to see what it was. So he did the first round with him. He said he got a phone call from Wes, and all he did, Wes, was yell at him, calling him a bitch 30 times. And he's like,
but there's people that like that, Joe. That's like a submissive thing. It's a weird. What about that kid? There's some kid from India that paid him $20-something thousand, and all he did was tell him, "You little piece of shit, you're never going to amount that." The kid spent all his money and everything. I heard, you know, I don't know, you know. Look, if you get, you guys made him fucking popular. You guys the guy's got millions of followers and everything. To me, he's fucking walks around with a purse. You ever see that fucking Johnny Bravo, my boy? The other day had on, he did that thing. And the guy's walking around with a purse, you know, a little orange purse and shit like that. You know, I don't know. Forget about it. I remember one time back in like 2000, I was in a strip club and I had the fanny pack with me, right? I didn't have it on. I had it in my hands, but I had it with me, right? Because sometimes I throw it on my shoulder. One of the strippers goes to me, "You're not using a fanny pack, are you?" And I was like, well, yeah, I just have my wallet and everything. She goes, "Oh my God, that's like from the 90s. What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh shit," you know, like I stopped with the fanny pack thing, you know what I mean? But you know, this guy's walking around with a purse. It's orange with the fucking gold chain thing on there. And these guys with all that fucking, you know what those chains do to you? If you get in a fucking street fight, some guy grabs that fucking thing and just chokes you out with it, you know?
Spell said it's almost St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, it's true. Riff Raff Ruckus said Bob shouldn't have said Nick could never win. He needs to get some class.
But wait, listen to me. It's his opinion. Who cares? Do you really give a fuck? If Bob has every right to say that. What if I said to you that, you know, they're going to start an overweight class and I'm going to be in it or something? You'd say, well, you're never going to win. Oh, you might win the overweight class. No, you'd say, oh, come on, Valentino. You look like, do you think I give a fuck? Really, who cares? You know what I mean? You know, oh, you're Cento, bag of oil. You know, meanwhile, that whole thing with the exploding arm, that was blood, you know, but whatever. Cento. Who cares? Think what you want. I'm tired of it, you know? Bob has every right to say it. Joe, who do you think's going to win the Olympia? Do you give a fuck?
No.
There you go. So Joe roots for I don't give a fuck. And you know what? I back Joe on that. I don't give a fuck either. That's who I think's going to win. Does that make us bad? You know what I mean? It can't. Who cares if Bob Chick said he doesn't think Nick's going to win? Get over it. You know what? If I'm Nick, prove him wrong. Get the fuck out there and win. Say, hey, asshole. When you get the trophy, call him on stage like this, you know, come on, come stand next to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And I know Bob very well. Bob would say, you know what? I said 6 months ago, this, that, and I was wrong. Nick, congratulate. That's what he would do. That's what
true.
Bob would do. But he has every right to his opinion.
He does. John Livia. Yo, what's up, fellas? What's up, John?
Is that John Livia? Is that the real John Livia, or we have this guy on here still? Is that John? If that's John, what's going on, John?
What's going on? Tyler Durrett says Tony Atlas lives in the same town as Chris Aceto. Well, Tony lives in Maine, so I don't know if Chris Aceto lives in Maine. Right?
And they both need a comb.
You know, John Levia said Peg Watson. Yeah, Dan said Wes Watson.
Johnny.
Weird dude. Yep, he is. He definitely is, you know.
Where does that Peg stuff come from? Does he really like to get the girls pegging him and shit like that. I saw something where he's like, my woman needs to come in there, and because Johnny Bravo put it up, and he's like, my woman needs to come in and greet me when I come. Imagine if you told fucking Morella, when I come in through the door, you're to get on. You're like, Joe, how are you? How was your day? Let me take off your jacket, Joe. Morella would be like this to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But there goes your food out the window.
I mean, what are you talking about? Your woman needs to address you properly when you come to the fuck out of here.
Doesn't Lucia do that to you though?
Oh, she's fucking like assholes home. Oh, assholes home.
Assholes home. Okay. John Salty said, I love my fanny packs all black.
Yeah, John, you remember that shit? The fanny pack. I stopped. It was like only 2000, and she's like, "That's 90s." I'm like, "That's a year ago." But she was like, "Fucking give me grief." I was like, "Okay." I'm shrinking in this. I never had it ever again. The fanny pack. But they were good. You're right. You keep all your shit in there. Now you get shit in your pockets and stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's true. Did you ever have a members only jacket?
No, dude. You know me. I'm fucking. This is like Walmart. You know, you know the way I am. I got my sneakers from the dead guy up the street and shit like that. You know, I don't fucking.
I don't know. Miss Bell said, block that comment of John Mancini. He's one of the fake accounts. I don't know if this one. I blocked one John Mancini already, but I know this one is the real one. I think.
No, this is the real John. I think this one right here is the real one. The other one was a fake one. That's so stupid that the guy does that. That's to see. I get, you could say whatever you want about me, to call me names, fucking simple, whatever you want to do that shit. I don't care. When you start making believe you're somebody else and coming on here as other people, and it's not fair. You know what I mean? It's not right. Be a man. Man up. Yep. Get a girl. Get a girlfriend. How about that? Try that.
Let's see. Todd Durst said, Joe, we got to get a 0-carb bagel. Summer is coming. Yeah. 0-carb bagel, right?
You got to talk to George about that.
See if you can make that happen, right? What do you say? Too much shit in the pockets throws the hips off.
Wait, he also, I think the same guy just asked, did I ever put toilet paper, what did he say, in the fanny pack or the socks?
In the socks.
I usually stick it in this, no, I always stuck it in the sock. Dave Palumbo will tell you, Jesus guy, we were all at dinner, even with Triple H that one time, and he was like, show him your fucking sock.
Well, I
Triple H is like, what are you doing?
When we went to Pennsylvania to see George, and me and you in that car ride, you had a duffel bag full of toilet paper, your enema. You had
I do. I carry an enema too, in case I have to shit. If I shit in the bathroom, I like to, it's like a bidet. I'm clean. You could eat off my ass.
Yep. And I said, you want me to pull over and get to the bathroom? And you're like, no, right here in the woods is fine. I'm like,
I'll go right in the woods. Dude, if I have to go really bad, either you pull over or I'm going to shit in your car.
Yeah, you can shit on my leather seats. Yeah, that's really funny.
No, when the countdown starts, if I start sweating and I go, Joe, pull over real fast. I don't give a shit if you're in traffic. Pull over because I'm going to. Once that countdown starts, 10, 9, 8, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh God,
Yep, I know.
Anyway,
I even had what did he say over here? He said, Tyler Durden said, I even had the members only jacket. Yeah, everyone did.
Yeah, but you got to look at me. First of all, I'm not the most GQ guy, okay? I was a good-looking guy when I was young, but I didn't wear I wasn't into the clothes like the Joe used to wear suits and ties.
Yeah, I showed you the pictures, right?
Yes, you did. Joe in high school was like the best-dressed guy.
Yeah, I was the best-dressed guy in high school. That's a true story. Yes, I was. I showed Greg the picture. He couldn't believe it. When I had hair and I wore a suit and tie every day to high school.
Joe, if somebody showed me that picture, I wouldn't know it's you. Just like if you see pictures of me when I was young, I don't think people would know that. They're like, that's you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I had thick curly hair, but when I would compete or when I do the photos, I would slick it back into a.
I like when you had it slick back. It looked pretty cool.
I'd slick it back or but I have very curly hair,
Funny mashup said, Greg, do people ever give you shit for going junking?
No. We sell it. All the shit that you see, like when I did this stuff with Joe and Lee Priest and Jimmy the Bull and everything, all that stuff's gone. I have all new stuff there. We sell all that shit. My girlfriend sold a bunch of shit today. She sold a golf bag. What the fuck else did she sell? Something for 400. Oh, marble, like these marble tabletops. They were pink marble. She had like 2 of them, and she sold them for $450. So somebody threw that away. Okay,
Jeez,
so we do that.
You still doing? I mean, when does it stop? It's on the stops or
It
something.
just started.
Oh,
It
just
just
started.
started a week ago. Again, it goes
wow.
until like the end of October.
Oh wow, you guys will be busy
So
again.
I live in a good area where people got all, so they throw out shit, and they throw out brand new stuff sometimes.
Mhm. Yep, exactly. Funny Mashup says, bro, watch out going into the woods. In certain states, if cops catch you, they can register you as a sex offender just for taking a shit.
Really, I didn't know that.
I remember one time going to
Yeah.
Pennsylvania to see George. I had to go to the bathroom really bad, and I pulled over like in the woods. It was like a rest stop, but I couldn't. There was no place to go, so I went towards the woods. And as I went to go to the woods to go pee, a group of old ladies was like they were taking a stroll in the woods. It was like
Really, there must
yeah.
have been a path or something.
Yeah, there was
Don't
a
go
path.
to those rest
I was
stops.
like, whoa.
Dude, I walked in a rest stop. I had my son with me, right? And he was like 4 years old, and he had to go to the bathroom. So I brought him in there. He only had to pee. So I brought him in there. And as soon as I walked in, it was like 6 or 7 guys in there. And all of a sudden, they go like this to the urinal like that and made believe they were peeing. I'm like, wow, that was weird, dude. I wasn't thinking, And next thing I know, I go in and I bring my son into a stall, right? And there's a guy in a stall next, and I look, and there's a face looking through the hole. There's a hole. Right where the toilet paper roll was, somebody put a hole in there, and I guess that's like a glory hole. They must do it because those rest stops are known for that shit. I was like, oh, what I mean? It's a fucking kid here,
Wow, Jesus.
My son, I went out and I told my ex-wife, I was like, holy shit, there's fucking guys must be doing a circle jerk in there when I walked in,
And you said, I gotta go run back in. I'll be back, guys.
Dude, you ever watch the guy on fucking Joe Rogan? They said the guy that looks like what's his name? Like Frank Zappa. I forgot his name. He does that. Well, he's always in the Amazon. He's got that big friggin' nose and those black.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That guy was saying, he goes, the worst thing that you could do, the worst thing is having to take a shit in the Amazon. He said, because when you pull your pants down, he goes, there's a scent that comes from your asshole. And he said, giant dong beetles will actually go and try to get up your ass. So you got to stand there with a leaf and wave the leaf like this. You know what I'm saying? While you're going like this so that no dong beetles come up into your. He said because if you sit and just try to squat, he said bugs will try to get up into your asshole.
Wow.
I gotta try that. I gotta go to the Amazon.
Rick
instead of sticking a gerbil up your ass, you get a dong beetle. Oh God.
Riff Raff Ruckus said, Greg, typically diabetes have the problem with shifting volcanoes. Diabetics.
I know what he means. He means taking a shits. Dude, I've been that way my whole life. God made me. I could take, beating and shit like that. I could do a lot of, But when it comes to having to take a shit, there's a countdown. And when I gotta go, I gotta go.
I know. Funny Mashup says, he means if people ask you, hey, what are you doing looking through my trash? Do people ever ask you that?
No. Everybody, you think we're the only ones to fucking everybody does it. You got all the freaking, a lot of the Mexicans that live with Guatemalans are always fucking in the big vans and shit doing that because people here got a lot of scuttle. I live in a good area, bro. There's a lot of rich people. I live in there's no low income in where I live. It's very, and people throw out good stuff, and there's a lot of people do it. I'm not the only one. We would get a lot of do that shit. She makes good money though, my girlfriend.
Yeah, she does. Joe Mataraz's Venom said, Greg, how many servings of Fiberlize at the moment and what time?
I do usually sometimes 1 to 2. I should do it like at night before I go to bed. Dude, that shit's good though. It makes your shit solid. It's really good. And you know what? It brought my cholesterol down.
Miss Bell said, I saw the documentary about you, Greg.
Which one, Miss Bell? I've been in a whole bunch. If you mean not the TLC, what you talk about the Ramblin' Freak, or you talk about the TLC? There's a few of them.
Yep. Dan said, note this self. If there's a hole in the bathroom door, do not stick your thing through it. Yeah, dude, I don't think we will.
I had my son there. He's 4. He has no idea what's going on. You pick him up and stand him on a bowl so he can go pee-pee in there. You know what I mean? I see just a big eyeball like this looking in there. I guess the guy thought, I don't know, maybe just saw me going. I don't know what the hell he thought. But I was like, hey, what the fuck? And I bang off the thing. And he got out of there. But as soon as we walked in, all of a sudden these guys went right to the urinals like that because they must have been jerking each other or whatever.
One of my friends, I was going to tell you, Greg, actually just purchased, he's in South Jersey. He purchased a pet tiger. Now he's actually doing something where he's training it. So he has a special license for it. And he's like, do you want to see it? I'm like, no, not really. He's like,
fuck that.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that. And he says, he's got to be careful with it because he has a special license for it. I don't know what he's doing with it. I think he has to train it, but he has a special license. It's in cage in he has a backyard that's caged in his backyard, and he's
Fuck
doing
that. Tell him
Yeah.
keep it in the backyard. Dude, those things wind up eating. How many of those things eat their own fucking, their own people and shit, The bear that they use in some of these movies killed one of its trainers, you know what I mean? A brother of the, it's all over. It's on YouTube. You can see it.
Yeah, Dan, I actually do. My friend has he I don't know, works with something with the animals, with exotic animals, and he actually just got a pet tiger, and I was like, hey, you want to come see it? And he lives down in South Jersey. I'm like, he's like, it's still pretty big. It's not a baby, it's a little bit bigger, and he's training it for something. I don't know what, but he even told me at that age when they're like even like 5 years old, they're like 1,000 pounds. They're big.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
And when they become adults, they're like 2,000 pounds, 2,500 pounds.
Fuck that.
He says if they attack you, he can't control you. He's like, if they go off, I can't do anything.
First of all, I feel like those kind of animals. It's like my girlfriend likes birds. She's always like, I'm gonna get a bird for the bird cage. I'm like, fuck that. A bird needs to fly. You don't put that shit in a cage. Imagine you're a bird. You don't know what it's like to fly because you've been stuck in some cage eating seeds all day. Fuck that.
Yep, I can imagine.
I don't think it's right to have an exotic animal like that. You know what I mean? It's not gonna roam around and hunt and shit like that. It's not the same. Was it
low host? Like, Joe and Greg, what's your opinion on canned tuna? You eat it regularly, or do you have a careful of metal content? I eat it all the time.
I used to eat it. I gotta be in a mood for that. You know what I mean? I used to eat it out of the can when I was get it? Eat it out of the can? My girlfriend's can. No, I used to, when I was younger, when you see the pictures of me in the 1970s, when I was real jacked and natural and all that shit, I used to eat the tuna out of the can all the time. I can't really do a lot of shit that I used to eat. I can't eat.
Funny mashup says, how rich is the guy with the tiger? Well, he's like fairly, not really rich, but he does something with animals, exotic animals for the state. So he has a special license where he trains them.
That's a crazy shit, though. I don't like that.
Like that, like he has weird things with stuff. Like he even had a grizzly bear or something. He had crazy stuff. Yeah,
fuck that.
He had like fucking bears. And
fuck that. Fuck that.
And he's always like, "Oh, you want to come over and see?" I'm like, "No, not really."
No, fuck that.
I'm like, "No, I don't really give a shit." Riff raff. So, Greg, it would be great if you recorded you and your girlfriend junking. You could have celebrity guests accompany you on junking.
How many people ask me that, but I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know if I'd ever do that, but we do it all the time.
That's it. Dan says I still sardines out of the can. Sardines, wow. Funny mashups. Who would win in a fight, a mongoose or Greg's mother-in-law?
My mother will fall on top of it. The mongoose is done. She's like the honey badger. She don't give a fuck. She'll eat it too. She's a nice guy.
Yeah, she is. Greg, Liedermeyer versus Martinez versus Zane versus Arnold. Who wins?
Oh Christ! You're dealing with eras. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like Victor Martinez's build a lot. I like Liedermeyer's build. I don't fucking know. Arnold was my favorite. You have to go with Arnold. It's just because he's Arnold. You know what I mean? They're different eras. Liedermeyer and Arnold were in this. We came at the end of Arnold's era. At the end, Zane, I never really liked Zane, even though I was built similar to Zane when I was younger. But I was a little bit more beefier than Zane, but I had his type of structure, like where I'd get on stage and I appeared. I could stand next to a guy bigger than me, and once I started, I appeared bigger, but I wasn't. You know what I mean? And that was kind of like Zane. I mean, you go see the pictures, go on my Instagram, and you can see all that shit.
Yep. You can see. You go to either Instagram, right? You have them on both.
Yeah. Yeah. I just started this Greg Valentino too, only because I don't want Greg Valentino. The Greg. I think it's Greg _. I don't know what it is. Greg _Valentino, whatever the fuck it is. That one, the one that's me. I don't want that fucking thing to, I've had enough trouble with Meta. They're always fucking with me. You know what I mean? I'm always in timeout and restricted and, always.
Yep. Funny mashup says, I think it would be great to record you just drunken for a few minutes in your YouTube shorts. Oh, maybe.
I'll think about it. We'll see.
Riff Raff says, Greg, who will win a fight? Dave Palumbo or John Romano?
Stop that.
Greg, I think your structure was bigger than Zane. No host.
I was bigger than Zane, yes. But I had his type of, like, I had a really small waist, and my waist was like 26, sometimes below that. I mean, I appeared, the whole thing. I remember I was in a show and they kept weighing me. You know what I mean? And they're like, no fucking way. Because they're like, this kid's got legs like a light heavyweight and shit. How are you a lightweight? You know what I mean? Like, they couldn't believe I was, but I was actually, well, I was 152. The lightweight was 154. You know what I'm saying? But I was only 152. But I had legs. My legs were better than the middleweights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, but I appeared. It appears like I'm bigger than I am. It wasn't that I was huge. I was just structurally really, you know, I'm lucky genetically, structurally, narrow hips even today. You know what I mean? My hips are very narrow, and so that's just, I'm lucky.
Yeah, you are. Greg, we're gonna have to wrap up here. We're over an hour in already.
Has it really been a fucking hour, Joe?
Yeah, it has been, man. It goes by quick, doesn't it?
Holy shit.
Miss Bell, Rick Simon, John Mancini, and the fake John Mancini, Joe Montrats, Dan, all of you guys, Tyler Durton, Riff Raff, everyone. I want to thank you guys for jumping in. John Saldi, Brian Pablo, Guru Dave Smith. Thank you guys every week for coming on with us. We appreciate talking to you guys.
Thank you all.
Like and subscribe. Go look at Greg's videos on Instagram and everything. If you guys are going to be around Saturday.
I just put up a funny one, that one Joe, where you could hear me and Joe laughing because, you know, I stepped back and I was with Joe while Joe was filming it. And Jimmy the Bull's laughing too because Julie's over there with the fucking, he's marching on the ordnance, doing a fucking, what is that called? A musket? You know, and he's got the musket and then he's making believe he's shooting in here. He's fucking nuts.
Yeah, the musket was from your house. We found it in your house.
Yeah, I know. It was it was my musket. And then Jimmy had the fucking, Jimmy the Bull. He had the sword. Remember, he kept going like this, and Lee's like, "Oh, look at Jimmy. He's like fucking Zorro now." Because Lee's like, and Jimmy's like,
yeah, it's pretty.
Dude,
funny.
we find all that shit, swords, fucking shit. That's all from the junk. I don't buy that shit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we will see you next week. Greg, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right, Joe.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.